In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 more practical fat loss tips you can implement straight away. I'm a personal trainer. I have been since 2014. I've also got an exercise science degree. Also, I've worked in an office the last decade, so I really do understand the struggles and the stresses that cause us to go off track and lose our way, and what stop us getting back to what we once were. Now for the 3 practical fat loss tips. But first, I've already done 3 tips. So what I'll do, I'll leave a link to my previous video in the description, and at the end of the video, I'll pop it up here somewhere. Tip number 1, it's perfectly fine to drink 0 calorie, any drink 0 calorie fizzy drinks. By this time in our 30s, 40s, or however old you are watching this video, working in an office, that type of job, it's fair to say that we've built up certain habits throughout the years. And one of them habits for a lot of people is just Coca-Cola, fizzy drinks, Fanta, or whatnot throughout the day. Similar to just snacking throughout the day. So I'll meet you halfway. I'm not going to ask you to drink just plain old water. It's perfectly fine to just switch up them full calorie versions for the sweetened 0 calorie versions. Don't be put off by the fear mongering out there, because there's quite a lot of it. What the science actually says, it's going to take a crazy amount of this 0 calorie energy drinks, whether it's Coke Zero or whatever. We're talking over 20 cans a day. So don't fear it. It's perfectly fine. It's going to take crazy amounts for it to cause any kind of negative health effects. Kind of like a dose response effect. So it's perfectly fine. Tip number 1 actually leads quite nicely into tip number 2, which is drink a lot more than you are now. Whether that is water, if you like it, whether that's a little bit of squash or dilute in that water, just give it a little bit of flavour, or if it's the 0 calorie energy drinks or fizzy drinks. And what this will do, this will just keep your stomach a little bit full up, just so it's stopping them craving somewhat. So it's a nice practical tip you can take away, just trying to avoid them cravings that come about when you're trying to eat in that calorie deficit. Also in the office, you'll find a habit is the fizzy drinks, as I mentioned, also snacking throughout the day, whether that's biscuits, crisps, chocolate, and that act of just putting things in your mouth. Like if you're using a zero calorie drink instead, it's the same kind of motion, it's just replacing that habit. A nice little tip you can take away just to try and make the process a little bit easier. And of course you'll find you'll be walking to the toilet a little bit more, so that will just be burning a few more calories, getting you up from your desk. Tip number 3, when takeaways are being ordered in the office, because this happens quite a lot, especially in the office environment, whether that's McDonald's, pizza or whatever, my tip is just to order something small on top of your pre-prepared meals. So these pre-prepared meals that you're going to prepare every single day are just going to keep you somewhat full up. So then if people are ordering takeaways, instead of fighting off temptation, because let's face it, willpower only goes so far. If you order something small like medium fries or a burger off a pound saver menu, there's only so much damage you can do with a small little treat on top, especially if you're already full up. It's gonna naturally regulate that hunger. I hope you found these tips helpful. If you have, please consider subscribing to check out any future videos. Also check out my past videos. I'm gonna pop my previous video at the top somewhere and a link in the description. That's the first 3 tips I've got. So if you found these helpful, you'll certainly find them helpful as well. And let me know in the comments section what tip you're gonna start today. I'll see you guys in the next video.